Hi, loves. Hey, I posted the video yesterday about my son Jacob and setting him free, and there was one part that I left out. Yep, I sure as chips did. Well, the night before when I was reading him Revelations, and I was explaining to him where he was going to go, and that there'd be no more owies and no more pain and no more suffering, and he could play all day if he wanted to. Well, I finally got to hold him that night, and it had been 3 long, agonizing weeks not being able to hold my little baby Jacob in my arms. And all he wanted me to do is hold him, and all I wanted to do was hold him. And they could never get his blood pressure regulated, and he was just always in stress, you know, much like me. And the night that I took him off life support, that's how I knew that it was time. And that God made it abundantly clear to me, that's for certainty. And the nurse finally got enough wires out of the way and hookups and stuff that I could finally hold him for the first time in 3 weeks after everything he'd been through. And I held him in my arms in the rocking chair, and it's almost like we just melted together. And the nurse is talking to me from behind the rocking chair, and she says, "Hey, Laurel." I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Look at the monitors. It's the first time that Jacob's vital signs have been stable for 3 weeks. Look at those monitors, Laurel, look at that." And I looked up at the monitors, and just like in the dream I had, the Terminators coming full circle to the beginning of the story. Well, one was red, one was purple, one was green, one was yellow, one was white, one was blue, one was red. And the lines on the monitors were the same colors. And I knew right then it was time to let him go home. That was God's signal to me to terminate and have faith all the way in the heavenly. And I did. And I explained to Jake where he's going to be going that night. I described much of the book of Revelations, but I left the crappy parts out. He didn't need to know that. But he knew that there would be no more owies, and never be any darkness, and never be any tears. And only laughter, no more fear. And it made it so easy for us. You know, that knowing. Because of what God showed me. If I hadn't died when I was 9, I might not have had that faith, but I did. So I was able to let him go. And then a couple days later, I asked God for a dream. And I said, "God," I said, "let me see him for one last time so I know he made it all right. Please, I just need to see him one more time." And Heavenly Father said to me, he said, "Well," he says, "I'll put a one-way mirror at the gates of heaven for you. And I'll take you there." Of course, you know how to get to the gates of heaven. I know the way there. And he said, "But you'll be able to see him, but he won't be able to see you." It's the way it's got to be, love. It's the way it's got to be. And because if he sees you, he's going to want to come to you. He's going to want to be with you. He's your baby. So I said, "That's fine, Lord." I said, "I just want to make sure he's all right. That's all. Not that I don't have faith in you or anything, but I just like to see him one more time." So I went to the other side of the universe, to heaven. And outside the gates of heaven, there were 13 candle lights. And they were in a circle. They were in a circle. And this would be like the gates of heaven here. And here would be Jacob, one little candlelight. And you had 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And Jake was right here, and he's asking the angels, he's going, "Well, where am I now, and what am I now? I'm only, not even 3 years old, I don't know where I am." And the angels started teaching him all these little candle lights. They were candle lights. And Jacob was a candlelight, and I couldn't really see it until Father let me get closer, and you could see Jacob inside the candlelight, and you could see the angels inside the candlelights. And they're explaining to him this way. They said they started singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star to him.